Okay, guys, the question of the day is who do you think is more attractive of the two pictures I'm going to show you? And I want to, by these two pictures, demonstrate a point. And this point I'm doing in defense somewhat of women who cover up and try to explain to you and demonstrate to you in this video what it is you might want as a man. So, who is more attractive to look at? Is it Exhibit a woman who is fully clothed and whom you can barely see, or is it Exhibit B, a woman who is barely clothed and who you could see very well, right? So which one is better to look at, more aesthetically pleasing, right? For the male, for the man's eyes. Obviously, it's Exhibit B, right? Exhibit B is sexier, right? She wins. Okay? But right now, I want you to pause and consider that at this point, there are a million men like you looking at Exhibit B, and a million men admiring the shapes and curves that we see in front of us. That is Exhibit B. And imagine for a moment that this woman, Exhibit B, that a million men are looking at right now, is your sister, right? Imagine, if you will, for a minute, that this woman that a million men are staring at right now is the mother of your children. Well, people would argue and say, well, she wouldn't be able to look like that then, right? Not true, necessarily. Imagine that this is your beloved wife, and that right now a million people are looking at her, and that as soon as she's done with this shoot, when she steps from that rock, there's going to be 10 guys surrounding her, asking her for her number or trying to get to know her better because she, matches their fancy of what they fancy in a woman. Can you imagine that? Okay. And then we have Exhibit A. So Exhibit A may have lost the contest, right? Because there's not going to be a whole bunch of guys flocking around her. And even though a million men are looking at her, imagine, if you will, that Exhibit A is your wife or your sister, and that now there are a million men looking at her. How does that make you feel? You see, the fact of the matter is, when ladies are dressed like Exhibit A, only one thing comes to mind, and that thing that comes to mind is really very temporary. It's something that tickles your fancy right away. Whereas when you look at Exhibit A, you ask yourself, which woman would I like to be the mother of my children? Which woman would I like to have as my wife? Which woman do I feel more comfortable with? Is it Exhibit B or is it Exhibit A? And what does Exhibit A tell you? You see, guys, interestingly, Exhibit A, all dressed up, may actually look better than Exhibit B, naked. But the difference is, Exhibit A would be for your eyes only. And what would you be more comfortable with? So the next time you see Muslim woman all covered up, ask yourself a very simple question. Would you rather have a piece of gum that fell on the floor, or would you have a piece of gum that is still in its wrapper? Thank you very much.